guys, here says that non-implementation of budget is impeachable offense. Senator Moguno confronts Tinubu government, queries delays in 2025 appropriation. Here also said that APC rep calls for impeachment of failed President Tinubu over incompetence. He's still running 2025 budget. Even the blind can see his failures. And this same government approved 8.05 billion to renovate churches and mosques in Nigeria. They allocated 8.05 billion to renovate church in Nigeria. And amidst what's happening in Nigeria, this is the things they're spending money on. And we have seen countless times that the chief of staff have been accused of looting Nigeria. Where are all this money going to? This is what this man is asking. Where is the money going to? You are going to watch all the videos that are exposing the things that APC government are looting, because they keep on looting our money and there is no accountability in this APC government. Just take a look and watch how Nigerians are reacting on this issue of borrowing and how this man is saying that Tinubu must be impeached. Just take a look, guys, and let me get your views in the comment section.
Where are these monies going to? This is my question. Why is budget not implemented? Because it is a breach of the law and it's an impeachable offense.
It's Memebers. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Mr. Honorable Minister, I've listened carefully to your brief and the very beautiful figures that you have reeled out
to implement the budget. Where are these revenue going to? If the budget, for example, 2025 budget has not been implemented, and we have to roll over 70% of 2025 to 2026, and that with the promise that 30% will be implemented before March. Up to March, even 30% was not implemented. National Assembly has to extend the lifespan of the budget up to September to allow government to implement just 30% component of 2025 budget. The issue of 2026 have not arisen completely, has not arisen. Has not even started up initial. It has not even arisen. So, don't you think is it not contradictory? Or why are these revenues going to the extent that the budget is not being implemented? It is through the implementation of the budget that dividends of democracy is being brought to the doorsteps of the people. If the budget is not being implemented, why is the function of government? For example, security of lives and property of the people is the primacy of governance. All the security agencies that we have been interacting with them, they are reporting to us that they have received zero allocation in terms of their capital. Where are these monies going to? This is my question. Why is budget not implemented? Because it is a breach of the law and it's an impeachable offense. Then about 3.7 trillion naira was received last month, and only 2 trillion naira was disbursed to the three tiers of government. About 1.7 trillion was retained. Why? Why is it that 1.7 trillion was retained? Why not disburse all the 3.7 trillion to the three tiers of government? This is my question. Thank you.
Particularly foreign loans. And I'll take that, with your permission, together with the last question from distinguished senator, also on debt. I think there is the need for some clarification in terms of how our debt numbers are reported. So first, for external loans, we always need the approval of the National Assembly. So what tends to happen is, when we get the approval of the National Assembly, the media would rightly report it. And many people take that as money borrowed. When we now borrow the money, they report it again. So, in fact, I think it was last year when the National Assembly approved about $20 billion, which was based on MTEF. So people add up big numbers as the money we have borrowed. And that is misleading in terms of the analysis. We're currently finalizing this breakdown in the Ministry of Finance. We'll make it available to the public. It will show how much the National Assembly approved and how much of that we have borrowed and how it has been spent. In addition to that...
But you have not exceeded what National Assembly has approved?
No, we haven't. Okay. In fact, we've not even taken half of what the National Assembly has approved.
Okay.
And we're also guided by the Fiscal Responsibility Act that only allows the government to borrow for capital expenditure and human development. So we are mindful of that. The other important issue is that, and the distinguished senator that asked the last question also spoke about this. When this administration came into power, public debt was around 75 trillion. But between then and now, many people would just simply compare the number before and the number now and say that this government has borrowed so much.
So every repeated allocation in the budget automatically translates to corruption.
Yes, it's deliberate. And that is an avenue to siphon money. They cannot tell me that they didn't know what they were doing. It's deliberate. Because in the history of this country, we never had a cabinet of 48 ministries. We never. It is only in Tinubu administration. And some of us raised eyebrow when this thing was going on. Somebody even questioned the authenticity of these ministries. Some of them were just irrelevant. They just put them there just for taking money. Nothing else. For example, the Ministry of Blue Economy, Tinubu's nephew. What is that ministry bringing to Nigeria? Have you ever had anything that is something beneficial to Nigeria coming out from that ministry? I advise that man, if there is nothing else you can do, go and fish for us. Lagos is surrounded by water all over. Are you telling me there are no fishes in those oceans? Go and fish for us so that we'll stop importing fish. Yet nothing. And so, all these ministries, the duplication is an avenue to siphon money because all of them got allocations. Just like the one we are talking about now with Adeyemi. It's deliberate. It's an avenue to take away money because all this money that we are giving, on paper, yes, they are there, but in reality, the money has been taken to somewhere else. A very clean way of taking away money. Very clean way. Thank God somebody has brought it up. But who will answer him? Moses, who will answer him? These issues, are they not serious issues that somebody is supposed to say, yes, there is a point here, but who will answer him? Nobody. They will just remain adamant as usual. Serap have been shouting themselves to Hoas over what is going on in Aso Rock. And yet you come and tell me that we don't have money. The 48 ministries, can they give us templates what they are doing, how much they are bringing in? At least for us to say, okay, they are worth it. For us to say, yes, it's worth it. They are not worth it at all. They are not. They are not worth it. It's an avenue to take away money. Like that of livestock ministry by Jega. Have I not queried it here? What is that ministry doing for us?
Okay, but Mr. Agomo, the Ministry of the Blue Economy, the record has it that it achieved 160% increase in sectoral revenue. Under its oversight, agencies generated approximately 1.83 trillion naira in 2025, and up to 7.9 billion naira in 2023. Ministry of Blue Economy.
Are you serious? Is that what they told you?
Yes, that's what they said.
Are you
the
serious?
Records. Yes.
So, which are those sectoral? All the sections under that ministry, can you mention them for me?
No, you think that the ministry is just floating. They don't have departments and agencies.
I said, tell me now.
No, you should know. You are the analyst.
No, I didn't know. That's why I'm asking you now.
No, you don't ask me. I ask you.
No, because you read something here.
Yes, that's
the record.
And
what they told you that you are reading for me. And I'm telling you that I didn't see it. It didn't add up.
Okay.
Okay,
you don't believe what the ministry says.
Have I ever believed government? Is something wrong with me? You believe them with
no, Mr. Agomo, for you to believe some Nigerian government means that there is something wrong with you.
For me, yes, especially this government. Because they have never told me one single truth. one single truth. I have never seen it from this government, and I challenge you to tell me otherwise.
All right then. Well, these
tell
are
me
your
otherwise.
thoughts there.
Tell me otherwise. Tinubu told us with his own mouth that he's going to build hospitals, schools, roads, and other critical infrastructure with the subsidy money. There was never a time he mentioned
six federal teaching hospitals across the 6 geopolitical zones have received money to upgrade their facilities. Yes. You are not aware.
Hold on. Receive money to upgrade.
Yes, their facilities.
Mr. Okoro, where is light in Nigeria? The first thing, all these things you are talking about, it hinges, that is the pivotal. The pivotal is what? Light, power. Where is it? Please, where is light? All your so-called infrastructure or whatever. A whole Ibadan, UCH, had to be off national grid.
Mr. Akumo, you asked a question. Where is the excess money derived from removal of fuel subsidy? Where is it going to? And I just pointed out a few of them.
I told you now that it's a lie. Because if it is...
Which one is a lie? Teaching hospitals are being upgraded.
It's a lie. Hold on. It's a lie. Because one, if you are using that subsidy money, we cannot borrow up to 200 trillion as I talk to you now.
No, but you also had deficits in your budget. You budgeted it that you were going to borrow this.
Why must that be with the subsidy money? There shouldn't be such a thing.
The subsidy money is not enough to solve all your problems.
Who told you that? Manage the one you have. Manage the one you have. Man, if it is well managed, in fact, we'll be borrowing money to people who need it.
You mean lending money?
Yeah, we lend money to people. Yes, manage the one you have, but you are not managing it. You are just on a spending cruise. Look at all the frivolous items that Nigeria spend their money on. Is that the profile of a man who is prudent? No, tell me the truth. The 210 trillion naira, you tell me now it's not under this government, but it's under the same party. What are they doing about it?
Well, the National Assembly is conducting an inquiry.
It's true talk, yes. Until Jesus come back, that's when they will finish conducting the forensic examination. The man that was in the helm of affair when this happened, have anybody called him for questioning in the first place? What are you now conducting? The man said he was even shocked that somebody is calling him. And you are telling me this and that. Please, in fact, the amount of money being wasted under this APC is unthinkable in the history of this country. It's unthinkable. And I don't see how we can make progress without light. Do you not need money to produce the so-called light? So why are you wasting the money you have? Why are you wasting the money you have? And you are telling me you are looking for money. Which money?
All right then.
The money you borrowed to come and account for it. Let us say whether you are using it prudently.
The situation that we are in as a country, you get some kind of things where you go here, and cry, could just say hungry you. No be say person beat you, but you just realize, say, your leaders, the people where they in charge of protecting your lives and your properties, they don't really send. They don't really get conscience. All they care about is themselves. I just God beg you, watch this video.
Let me show you two numbers from the Nigerian government's Open Treasury portal. In 2025, the presidential air fleet, that is the aircraft that transport the president and senior officials, received 20.27 billion naira. That is 97.76% of its budget. Nearly every naira released. Now, look at this other line. Same portal, same fiscal year, same treasury. The Nigerian Army's budget for the purchase of security equipment, 20.56 billion naira. Budgeted. Amount released, 1.46 billion. That is 7.11%. Same government, same year, same treasury. One got everything, the other got almost nothing. During this budget cycle, according to Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited, over 10,000 Nigerians were killed in security-related violence. We went to the government's own data to understand how this happened, and what we found was quite interesting. In December 2024, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the 2025 federal budget to the National Assembly. He called it
this budget precedent. Budgets of restoration, securing peace, building prosperity.
The numbers backed up the name. The defense and security sector received 6.57 trillion naira, the largest allocation in Nigerian history. That is more than 12% of the entire federal budget. When the president introduced the 2026 budget a year later, he said something that matters for what comes next. He said, quote,
"We will invest in security with clear accountability for outcomes, because security spending must deliver results to secure our country.
Now, here's how the money was supposed to flow. The Nigerian Army was allocated 4.52 trillion naira. The Air Force 1.25 trillion. The Presidential Air Fleet, managed under the Office of the National Security Advisor, received its own allocation. On paper, this was the most funded military Nigeria has ever had. So we went to the Open Treasury Portal, the government's own transparency platform, and we checked what was actually released. The 2025 budget performance data tells a very different story from the one in the Appropriation Act. Army security equipment budgeted 20.56 billion, released 1.46 billion, just over 7%. Defense equipment, that is the weapons, vehicles, and hardware the Army needs to fight, 336.76 billion budgeted, released 16.71 billion, under 5%. Now, Air Force aircraft maintenance, the budget for keeping the military's aircraft operational, 34.71 billion budgeted, 4.85 billion released, that is about 14%. But it gets worse. There are budget lines that received 0 naira, not reduced funding, 0. Construction of military barracks, 206.97 billion budgeted, 0 released. Transport fuel for the Army, 0. Aircraft fuel for the Air Force, that is the jets that are supposed to be providing air support in Borno, 0. Although a broader fuel aggregate shows some partial release. Then we have welfare packages for soldiers. I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. They got 0. Recruitment, 0. So the Army can't buy equipment. The Air Force can't fuel its aircraft. Nobody is building barracks. Nobody is being recruited. And nobody is even getting welfare packages. But then we checked another line on the same portal. The Presidential Air Fleet, 20.74 billion naira budgeted, 20.27 billion released. That is 97.76%. The same treasury that released 7% for the Army security equipment released 97% for the aircraft that fly the president. The same system that gave the Air Force 0 naira for aircraft fuel found a way to fully fund the fleet used for official transport. Now, when these numbers became public, the President's Special Advisor on Economic Affairs, Tope Fasua, pushed back. He said the comparison is unfair. His argument, the Presidential Air Fleet falls under recurrent expenditure, maintenance, fuel, operational costs. Those get released monthly. Military equipment, meanwhile, is a capital expenditure. Procurement, construction, capital releases, they follow different timelines and depend on cash availability. And honestly, that is a quite reasonable argument. Recurrent and capital expenditure do follow different rules in Nigeria's public finance system. If this explanation holds, it would account for the gap. So, we tested it. We went back to the Open Treasury Portal and we pulled every military budget line that is classified as recurrent expenditure, the same category as the Presidential Air Fleet. And here's what we found. Every single line on this table is recurrent expenditure, same category as the fleet, same rules, same timelines. Maintaining the Air Force aircraft is recurrent. Servicing planes, repairing engines, it got 13.98%. Maintaining the President's aircraft is also recurrent, but it got 97.76%. Fueling the Air Force's jets, the ones flying missions over Borno, is recurrent. It got 0. Fueling the President's jets, fully funded. Toby Fasua said, you cannot compare recurrent with capital. And yes, he is right. So we compared recurrent with recurrent, and the gap is still there. The data does not support a structural explanation. The pattern points to a choice in priorities. But this pattern didn't start in 2025. Fleet spending has grown dramatically over the past decade, from 4.37 billion naira in 2017 to over 20 billion in 2025. And the proposed allocation for 2026 is 238 billion naira. Under
Jesus Christ. See, take a look at anybody, any country, any company. How they spend their money tells you where their priorities lie. Ask the common Nigerian, what is the biggest challenge that the country is facing? And they are going to tell you that is the issue of insecurity. But look at what our leaders are spending money on. They spend more money on maintaining the aircraft of the president than they spend on our military. So the ongoing insecurity challenges, who exactly are we to blame? The bandits, the kidnappers, or the people who it is in their power to provide the resources that is needed to fight the insecurity in our country? And 2027 is going to be here in a matter of months. And these same people are still trying to hang on to power by fire, by force. The spending on the Presidential Air Fleet from 2017, they used to spend less than 5 billion naira. But the budget for 2026 is 238 billion. In 2025, the budget was 20 billion, for which they got approximately 98% of the budgeted amount. but the military got about 7% of the amount that is meant to be disbursed to them to fight and protect our country. How a country spends its money tells you where their priorities lie. And clearly, protecting the lives of the Nigerian public, the lives of the Nigerian citizens, is not in the list of priorities of this current administration. 2027 they come on. When time reach, make we collect Gary, make we collect rice, make we collect like 5k or 1k or 2k, and then sell our votes. And then we continue to see things like this repeat itself on an ongoing basis. And we turn around and pray that God should come and save us when the power of saving ourselves lies in our own hands. This is very, very disheartening. You look at things like this, you hear things like this, and you just want to give up on the country. But if we do that, where do we go to? What other country do we have to call our own? See, Nigeria can walk, but if the people where they power no get sense, nothing sensible can come out of the country.
Only thing we hear in Nigeria today is looting. There is no accountability in the looting. At least if you are taking money, let us see what you do with the money. In the APC government, we are not seeing anything as such. We are not seeing anything as such. Only looting. Femi Badabamila have been accused so many times of looting public funds. Till today, we have not heard anything from the government. We have not heard anything from the senators, from Akpabio about calling him to caution him. Nothing has been done. In APC government, you cannot do anything you want to do, and you just go scot-free. So far, an APC government, you will just go scot-free. Now they're calling on Tinubu's impeachment that this is an impeachable offense. You can't be taking money and not be accountable for it. Where are all this money going to? Where is the money? Where are all this money going to? This is what people are asking. But let me go to a video about that in the comments. I'll be looking at my next video. And don't forget to subscribe, guys.